Hello everyone and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast as part of a Spectra dossier. This audio podcast as part of a SZtorm. This audio podcast as part of a Science Squadron, and this audio podcast as part of a Storm Robotics production. In this audio podcast, an overview in the in an overview in regard to the third the a third strategy as part of the as part of this as part of a campaign initiative works a campaign initiative works in around the Lord Mayor of Bristol Southwest United Kingdom at that time in the initiative to increase those to increase the donation pool in regard to those who are amongst in amongst blood in amongst blood and solid organ transplantation. And this audio podcast a little bit around the science behind blood transfusion, solid organ transplantation. So the challenge is to provide accessible literature in a variety of languages for service users, patients, and carers in the United Kingdom's multi faith communities. Scientists and clinicians also need to interact better with this with the community with communities to provide effective health education. So in around this, in around some of the background around this, so primarily the workup of a prospective transplant for a recipient is through immunological based assays to determine antibodies through a recipient's human leukocyte antigen system, or HLA. If a serum sample is tested against a panel of white cells from donors with a range of different human leukocyte antigen types, it is possible to identify the specificity of the antibodies from the reaction patterns with cells carrying different HLA types. It is important for those from BAME backgrounds and the broader society to understand the different concepts of the science behind blood and solid organ transplantation. If there is to be an increase in around transplantation. So some of the activities in one of the World Kidney Day 2013 e-learning sessions, a consultant physician active in all aspects of care of patients with kidney disease or renal disease was invited to present insights on the science behind a human solid organ transplant, or solid human organ transplantation. And in the same year, a a blood tour was organized by NHS Blood and Transplant in the southwest. The event allowed the Lord Mayor at that time and campaign champions to get a better understanding of get a better get a better understanding of both around the science behind blood transfusion and the effort required to ensure different blood products and quality are quality assured and safely handled before being issued to different centers in the different regions or centers around the United Kingdom. That draws this audio podcast to a close. A subsequent audio podcast will delve into the ethical aspects as part of this campaign initiative. A campaign initiative sort of works in around the Lord Mayor of Bristol, Southwest UK regions. Works from 2000 between 2013 to 2015. So this draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast as part of a Spectra Dossier. This audio podcast as part of a SZtorm. This audio podcast as part of a Giant Squadron. This audio podcast as part of a Storm Robotics production.